So you want to grow to 20,000 followers and beyond, and you're looking on YouTube and you're trying to figure out a way to do it, and you're trying to find a value-packed video that's going to literally tell you everything that I already know for free, right? And not ask for anything but a cheeky little sub and a like if you can do me the favor. But I want to discuss how I've managed to grow to 20,000 and beyond on every platform: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and I think every single one of you can do it if you follow a certain set of rules that is relatively simple, but it's very hard to execute. I don't want to tell you that this is easy, right? But if it was easy, everyone would do it, and it's a simple blueprint that you can follow. And if you do, you're going to set yourself apart from 99% of people who have to go to a job and work and do all that, because you can set yourself up for life building a personal brand. And with 20,000 followers, I've seen people with less than that who make an obscene amount of money, like $50,000 a month from selling certain things with influence smaller than that, because they knew what they were doing. They set themselves up for success, and yeah, it worked out because they got to set their mind to it. But remember, there are exceptions to the rules, and hopefully you guys are that, because there are things that you need to do and not many people want to do them. So the first thing is, what do people get wrong, right, in their first 90 days? Like, what are the biggest things that I see, and what are some of the mistakes that I made? I made mistakes in my first 90 days. And I tell you, the first 90 days for me wasn't 90 days. It was more like 10 years. I started my YouTube in 2006. And at first when I started it was for fun. I wasn't trying to make a business out of it. But there was a few times in my life where I did try and make a business out of it. And it didn't work because I wasn't doing certain things. Some of the mistakes that I was making, I think the biggest mistake that I made was not sticking to any one niche, and not sticking to, like setting myself a goal and not sticking to it. So what I would do is, I want to be a content creator who does travel vlogs. So I'd go on a couple of holidays, I'd make a couple of vlogs, and I'll do it daily, right? And I'd absolutely smash it for like 6 days, and then I'll just lose interest and go, I can't bother, I'll get back to it. Then I'll pick up the camera again 2 months later, do the same thing, put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. And that's not how you build a following, right? This has to become a way of life. And I'm not saying you need to be a travel vlogger or a daily vlogger. Like, it's funny because it's come full circle. I make daily content, but it's definitely not vlogs, right? I'm not documenting my life. I hate that. And anyone who does that, that's great, but I don't like doing it because, it takes away from actually living life, in my opinion. But some people love it. But my point is, actually sticking to what I was trying to achieve, and, getting over the hump. See how Wednesday in the week, it's a hump, right? You got to get over it, and then you got Thursday and Friday, and then you got the weekend. That's what this game is. That's what business is. That's what content creation is. Right now on this channel, my views are 10 to 50 views a video. Depending on when you might be watching this years from now, and you'll be like, oh my God, he's got a bajillion followers, and it all worked out. But I have other channels that have 300,000 and I make a ton of money from them, and it's great and life's awesome. But I wanted to start something new to see if I could do it again in a completely different niche. And the key is to just not give up on Wednesday, right? Because I've already been through this channel. Like, I started like 4 months ago, and I made like 10 videos in a row, and then I just stopped. So I do a lot of other stuff, but I do want to be in, the content creation niche and talk about this sort of stuff. So the biggest thing is getting over that hurdle. I got over that hurdle once in the cryptocurrency niche, and I want to get over that hurdle again in the content creation niche or the personal branding niche, because it's something that really interests me now. But once we're over Wednesday, right? So we set ourselves a goal. For me, on my cryptocurrency YouTube channel, it was filming one piece of content every single day for a year. And if I don't make it at the end of that year, then I'll try something else. I'd just come fresh off the heels of a relative e-commerce success. And then I was like, I want to be a content creator. I'm going to put down the e-commerce for a little bit. I'll get back to it if this doesn't work, because I already know I can somewhat make a bit of money from that. So I thought, I'm going to do a video every day. And it took me 4 or 5 months to get my first big break. Then I found that break, and that's when the machine really started rolling. And I guess that kind of leads me to the next point of how much should you be posting in order to make this content creation game work. And for me personally, I'm kind of going against the grain of what long form content kind of is or used to be. And I've done something a little bit different, which is kind of mix the short form game, the short form idea, where you just post a lot, with the long form sort of value packed videos. Because in short form, you really can't give that much value, because like, how much could I say in 1 minute? I've already been talking for 5 minutes on this point. So what I do is I make one piece of content every day. It's based on my opinion and the news, and that changes every day, right? Because the news changes every day, my opinion changes every day, and things change every day. So it makes it a relatively simple thing to do every day. So I would suggest that the niche that you pick a niche that interests you, but also has things that change daily. Then you make content about it daily. It makes your job really easy for the daily content. Now, there is another side of things where I see people growing a lot. There's a bunch of people growing recently, and they make a video like once a month, once every 2 weeks, once every couple of months, but they're really detailed, really engaging, a lot of storytelling, a lot of editing. They're really good pieces of entertaining content. So you can mix kind of entertainment with value, and then you can post a lot less, but they have to be really engaging pieces of content that get people happy and excited, right? Or what I've done is I go for the like the constant updates. I'm giving people what they want, in the sense of, instead of going out and having to research, they can just watch my videos and they get the information they want. And that can apply to, you know, so many different niches. It can apply to gaming, it can apply to finance, it can apply to makeup, whatever changes. Do you know what I mean? Like business trends, things that change constantly, things that have news, things that have engaged followers who want that news, and you can bring it to them in the form of content, and then they can appreciate it from you, and then you can start to monetize it in different ways. So I guess what's important is the mindset shift, right? So the mindset shift that makes the ability to grow to 20,000 followers is probably what's the most important thing. And that mindset shift is, no one is going to help you here. No one is probably going to support you. And the person who you have to rely on is yourself. So the actionable steps from here, if you're at 0 or somewhere near 0 for you to grow on any of these platforms, right, to 20,000 and start monetizing and start making money. 1, pick a niche that you are super knowledgeable in, or one that you enjoy, because you can become knowledgeable in it in the pursuit of content creation. Something we were talking about, I was talking about to my friend's girlfriend who's a real estate agent. And what we were talking about was, instead of positioning yourself as the expert, position yourself as the person who wants to be the expert, and I'm going to take you on the journey of becoming an expert. And then you take people on the journey, and people are interested in that journey. And you'll be so surprised that even as a non-expert, people would be willing to take your advice and buy stuff from you and all of that sort, like, you know, buy a property from you. If you were like, okay, my boss has found this, these are all the reasons why I think it's great. And that way you're not lying, you're not selling any mistrust, you're actually, you know, super genuine. And people love genuine people, because there's so much more trustworthy if you see someone's journey, right? So a niche that you are either super knowledgeable in or you love, or both, right? Ideally both. And then you can build from there. From there, we want to post, I would say now, as much as possible. Set yourself something that you can do. I would do, and I did, one piece of content every single day. Now I do tons more than that, because I've got to a point where I can yap. But one piece of content every single day, and put it out on every platform, right? So if you want to do short form, you're not really ready for long form, you get to long form after. Film your one piece and put it on all the platforms. If you want to start with long form, film your one piece and put it on YouTube. Then you can cut up that one piece into short form and put it on the short form, right? But do it every day, guys, because I'm telling you, no one's going to watch it, no one cares, and it's going to be crap. And that's just something you have to accept. I was absolutely atrocious when I started. It took me eight hours to make one single video, and that was a news-based video that I make now in 20 minutes. And no one watched it. And I put all that time and effort and no one watched it until that 4-month period hit and I got my break, right? So post the content every day. If we're doing short form, actually all of the platforms, comment, talk to other people in the comments. If someone comments on your video, talk to them, all right? Engage with them, become friends with them, so they come back and they come and comment on your content again, because they know, oh, this guy's real, this person's real, and they're not just trying to farm me for views or try and sell me something. So engage with everyone. And I want to give you some, some real tips and something that you can actually like grab onto, that's not just, oh yeah, post your videos and hope for the best. And the best advice that I can give any one of you who wants to make this work is, it's not going to be easy, and you need to stick to it. And a piece of advice that would work for you might not work for this other person, and vice versa. All right. So the key is with that one piece of content a day, you're going to find an outlier over the course of, say, 3 months, that 90-day period. You're going to find an outlier. And that outlier, let's say, right now on this channel, I'm getting between 30 and 80 views a video. But there's going to be an outlier in the next 90 days. If I stick to my schedule, which is one piece of content every day, there's going to be an outlier that gets 100, 200, 300 views. Maybe it gets a couple of thousand views, I don't know. But there's going to be an outlier. And then I know I found one. Okay, that outlier works. Double, triple, quadruple down on the outlier. And what do I mean by that? I take the content, I make it exactly the same again. I post it. Did it work again? Yes, no. If yes, make it again, change it a little bit, all of that. If it didn't work, okay, maybe it doesn't work, and I'll go back and find the other outlier, right? And then you just rinse and repeat this until you find exactly what works for you. And guys, once you find that, you can just keep on changing it. You'll see. Go on anyone's account, anyone that you like, anyone that you follow, see their videos, specifically on YouTube, because you can't see the titles and the thumbnails on TikTok, but go on their videos and you'll see that every couple of videos, there's going to be a recycled video. And it might be not the same title, the same thumbnail, but it's going to be a similar thumbnail. The title's going to be, X and Y are going to be the same, or they're going to be flipped, or the number's going to be different, or the location's going to be different, but they're rinsing and repeating. And if you're not looking for it, you don't know it's there. But when you know it's there, you see it everywhere. So without me giving you, that's the secret sauce. You're all going to have something completely different. But the way to find that is by doing the content. The more content you do, the quicker it will come. And don't worry about posting too much, posting schedules, post at this time, don't post at midnight. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just post when you have the content, specifically at the start, because no one's going to see it anyway. And when I say no one, hopefully a couple of tens of people or hundreds of people will see it. But when I say no one, it's not going to be, your big break anytime soon. So focus on getting better every day, getting better at the content, getting better at talking, getting better at figuring out niches, and then find the outlier and double, triple, quadruple down. And that's how I grew to 450,000 subscribers on TikTok, 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, 50,000 on Instagram, and multiple channels on multiple platforms. So with that, guys, if you can do me a favor, subscribe. Hopefully I gave you some value, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one, and I'll maybe get over 100 views on that one. Peace.